got to talk about something very important. The war between Russia and Ukraine. People are being killed, mostly young men, mostly Russian and Ukrainian men, at levels you've never seen before, thousands of people a week. And I've spoken to President Putin, and I think that thing is going to end, but it's got to end. It's a horrible, horrible thing to watch. I'm dealing with President Zelensky. I'm dealing with President Putin. I'm trying to get the money back that, or secured, because, you know, Europe has given $100 billion. The United States has given $350 billion because we had a stupid, incompetent president and administration. 350. But here's worse. Europe gave it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We gave it in the form of nothing, so I want them to give us something for all of the money that we put up, and I'm going to try and get the war settled, and I'm going to try and get all that death ended. So we're asking...
Hey everyone, welcome back to Conservative Chronicle. Today we're breaking down President Trump's latest comments on the war in Ukraine, and his bold prediction about what's going to happen next. If you've been following the conflict, you know it's been devastating for so many. But Trump's perspective is definitely making waves. Stick around as we dive into the key points he made, and what it could mean for the US, Ukraine, and the world. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our important updates. Let's jump right into it. First, let's talk about Trump's view on the war itself. The president made it clear that this ongoing conflict is one of the worst tragedies, with thousands of lives lost every week. He mentioned how Russia and Ukraine are suffering at levels we've never seen before, with young men on both sides paying the ultimate price. Trump says he's been in talks with both President Zelensky of Ukraine and President Putin of Russia. His goal? Ending the war as quickly as possible. And while he's optimistic about a deal, he emphasized just how important it is to resolve this conflict soon. Now let's move on to something that really caught people's attention: the U.S. financial contribution to the war. According to Trump, the U.S. has given a staggering $350 billion in aid to Ukraine. But here's where it gets interesting. Europe, on the other hand, has given $100 billion in the form of loans. And Trump says there's a big difference. Europe gets their money back, while the U.S. doesn't. Trump's frustration is clear. He wants the U.S. to get something in return for all the money we've put up. Do you think the U.S. deserves compensation for its financial support, or should countries contribute without expecting repayment? Let me know in the comments. Trump didn't hold back when it came to critiquing current leadership. He strongly believes that the war never would have happened under his administration. According to him, Russia would never have invaded Ukraine if he were in power, citing the decisions made under President Biden as the catalyst for the current crisis. Whether or not you agree with Trump's assessment, it's a bold claim.
For rare earth and oil, anything we can get. But we feel so stupid. Here's Europe. And, you know, it affects Europe. It doesn't really affect us, except we don't like to see two things. Number one, how Biden got us into this thing in the first place. Terrible. But why is it that he didn't ask for equalization? Europe should put up more money than us. But even if you said the same thing, how come we went so far out front? And he didn't know that Europe gets his money back. They did it in the form of a loan. We don't get our money back. We get nothing. So we're getting our money back. We're going to get our money back because it's not fair. It's just not fair. And we will see. But I think we're pretty close to a deal, and we better be close to a deal, because that has been a horrible situation. It would have never happened if I were president. And by the way, October 7th, Israel would have never happened if I was president, too. It would have never happened. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah. They had no money to give. Everybody knows that. Jewish people in the audience know that. Iran was broke. They were not giving money around. And when I got out, they took all the sanctions off Biden, and Iran became rich very quickly. With oil, you can become rich very, very quickly. And the rest is history. What a horrible thing. Even though the hostages are coming back, I saw it this morning where we got 6 more back. Biden got none back, by the way, just so you understand. None. 0. He would have never gotten any of them back. But they're coming back in pretty bad shape. It's a horrible thing, and many are dead. Many are dead. So we'll see how that all ends up, but it's a horrible thing. But I just want you to know we're working on that. That's a very big part of it. And I don't like talking about it because we're in the middle of negotiations, but it's a very, very sad, would have never happened. There was no way. Russia was never going to go in, and they went in because of a lot of reasons, and so many people are dead. Far more people are dead than you're reading about. You know, when they blow up all these cities, all those cities they look like demolition sites. Every single building is down. All of those beautiful golden towers that are 1,000 years old, they're lying on the ground in smithereens, blown to smithereens. There's nothing left of them. They're just lying on the ground, never to be rebuilt again, not possible to rebuild them again. And all of that heritage is gone. People have done a really horrible job. That would have never, if I were president, zero chance that a shot would even have been fired. Wouldn't have happened. So sad.
He suggests that the situation escalated because of poor leadership, and that if he were president, this conflict would never have reached the scale we're seeing today. Trump's words have definitely sparked a lot of debate, especially when it comes to the U.S.'s role in the war and the financial aid we've provided. Whether you agree or disagree with his viewpoints, it's undeniable that his take on the situation is bold, and it's something we'll likely continue hearing about as the war progresses. So what do you think? Do you agree with Trump's assessment of the Ukraine war and his ideas on how the U.S. should handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.